Good evening and welcome to A Rude Awakening, episode 49. We're now in the group doing a revision on Course in Miracles, the revision section. So we'll continue next weekend with revisions 50 to 60. So I thought I'd take a break and let you guys continue with your revisions, which we'll summarize next weekend, and just get back to some of the secrets of the obvious questions that was sent to me last year, and I wasn't able to get through all of them. So welcome. I'll start off with a disclaimer. This is a PG-33 show, and it is called The Rude Awakening for a reason, because we go kicking and screaming into the light of awareness. Awakening to self is not a romantic adventure. It's not going to be easy. It's excruciating, and it's meant to be, because what's the other option? You want to stay asleep dreaming? You wish you perhaps were like a Ramana Maharshi who had a sudden awakening, but he had a horrific awakening sequence and then had to spend the rest of his life absorbing it and sharing it and sharing it, absorbing it. And by sharing it, he became the awareness of being, he returned to being the awareness of being. So Christ-mindedness. And then disclaimer number two, very, very, very important, especially in the light of what's going on in terms of disclosure. And this is the year of disclosure. Is I am not a teacher of anything. Teacher is not a title you give oneself anyway. If your students want to call you a teacher, well, even that's wrong. That sentence is wrong. But if people want to call you a teacher, go ahead. But I'm nobody's teacher. I'm nobody's guru. I certainly do not have all the answers. In actual fact, I don't know anything. I just know what's in front of me. The only thing I can really claim to do is ride a motorcycle. That's it. Do marketing strategy. As for the rest, it's all just timekeeping event. But thank you for the questions last year, and apologies for taking a while to get back to you. But here we are. So this one was a very interesting one. This is coming from an intellectual, someone who's a scientist. He doesn't explain what kind of science, but he's a scientist, works as a professor in the local university, and as tapped into the non-dual teachings specifically because of Einstein and what Einstein was alluding to. And he's obviously high intellectual, highly mathematical, scientific brain, and he's asking me the following question. Blah, blah, blah. Dear Lou, some say that E equals MC squared is the scientific explanation of God. Can you elaborate on this? No, it's not the scientific explanation of God, fact. It's the scientific explanation for the makeup, the content of our dreaming mind. So E equals MC squared, made famous obviously by Einstein, and it literally just expresses the principle of mass, energy, and the equivalence thereof, which really states that energy, mass, matter, physical matter, the appearance of energy as matter, okay, it's whether it's time or matter, it's the same thing appearing as space and time and matter. So let's get into the key components of that calculation. So E stands for energy. E equals, okay, so what is energy? It's the total energy contained within a system or the totality of it. Energy can be converted into mass, okay, and conversely, enough energy can be used to create massive particles or mass particles. And that process is a continuation and is observed as particle fusion or particle energy fusion. It's just particles colliding, the observation of particles colliding and moving about, matter and antimatter. Is it created? Is it destroyed? It's the appearance of creation and destroying. It's just appearance. Nothing's newly created in the universe. It's already over. So there's nothing new coming into it. It may appear as new for you, new car, new experience, but it's not new. You're just recalling something which happened in the illusion of space-time, the illusion of dream. The M stands for mass. Specifically, the invariant essence of the mass, or rest energy, as some people like to call it. It's a measurement of the amount and density of matter compressed in an object. Okay, so mass obviously contains energy. Particles contain energy, inherent energy, and that's why they can be spontaneous, they can be combusted or turned into a fusion device or a weapon, a bomb. You can take a particle and you can explode it. You can, the sun is, for example, natural energy in the world of natural, the universe of natural, pure energy. It's just particles colliding with one another, and they collide at such a rate they create and they let off energy, and we have what's called the sun, fire. You know, C stands for the speed of light, and obviously C squared. So it's the speed of light squared against itself. You take the speed of light, it's 300,000 kilometers per second, or 186,000 miles per second. Um, and so it's a huge number when you, especially when you square it. And the term is really just a conversion factor that demonstrates the enormous amount of energy, that's bound up in what appears to be matter, mass. So in essence, E equals mc squared. Well, first of all, fundamentally, it changed our understanding of physics. But what it's really revealing is that mass and energy are a unified concept. That's what Einstein really came to. You can't separate the two. They're not two separate I, you essences, or two separate activities. It's one and the same, you know. And what it really shows us is that the content of our dreaming mind, which is just pure energy, filtered through perception, thought, then appears as physical matter, and there appears to be a space between particles. That even if you look at the most smallest of particles, subatomic matter, you realize it's just particles vibrating, providing the appearance of matter. So the universe is really the appearance of matter divided by space, but it's actually all unified. It's one unified field. Just as you dream at night, in your dream, you fall asleep, you're a John, you fall asleep, you dream yourself as the character Paul, just to distinguish between the two. And in Paul's world, he sees the appearance of people, places, things, and events separated by physicality, space, and time. Yet the entire content of the dream is the dreamer's mind. The character in the dream, through which the dream contents are observed, are just a personification of the dreamer in their identification with their illusionary self. But so is every other character. And so even though as the localization, you only appear to see your dream from your localization and there's other people in the dream, you've dreamt up everybody else. And if you were to analyze each character in your dream, you'll realize that the content of that character is the same content of the one who dreams you up. It's the same dream. So can E equals mc squared explain true reality? Nothing in this world of dreams will ever, sorry, scientists out there, explain true reality. It could point towards it, just like words can, symbols twice removed. But the direct experience of it, there's no space, there's no time, there's no matter in present moment awareness. Awareness doesn't consist of particles. It's pure being. And you see, the minute you try and explain it with words, you just go down a highfalutin rabbit hole of fanciful so-called spiritual terms. It's like me trying to describe the flavor of ice cream. You want ice cream because you see every time I eat ice cream, I light up, big smile on my face. No matter how I describe the texture of the ice cream, the flavor, the taste, yeah, if you've never experienced it, you'll sit there with a funny look on your face and you won't get it. But what I can do is say, 2 streets down, turn right, turn left, shopping center, blue sign, go inside there and buy an ice cream, put it in your mouth, and shut the fuck up because there's no point to try and explain awareness of being. Can't, cannot. Closest I'll get is full body orgasm with ice cream in your mouth. That's it, and it's a joke because it cannot be explained, and that's the only function you have here is to remember the essential nature of your beingness. Be thyself knowingly. But thanks for the question. I hope this makes sense. Keep searching, keep using your science, but you'll realize it's all going to hit a roadblock. Every single path you go down to, including any spiritual teaching, will hit a roadblock, and it'll all make you go silent. And you'll get to the point that the more you know, the less you really understand, and the less you really know. And eventually you'll get to being comfortable with not knowing. And when you can truly be comfortable with not knowing, the knowingness flows. That's words again. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. How on earth am I going to explain the nature of reality with vibrational space-time sound, which in itself isn't real? Can't. But please do continue. You're meant to awaken to self through the science process, just like I did through business and strategy and marketing. Have fun with it. Okay. This one, he speaks of, he's noticed that I mentioned the Tao Te Ching and Zen, and yeah, I mentioned many different schools of thought. So he's asked, how do I learn to accept? Because obviously he's a Zen student and he's stumbled across my channel, and he's saying, how do I accept what is taught in Shinkantaza, or Shinkantaza, as the Japanese would say it? Of course, I've just completely destroyed that, and I'm going to get 20 comments about the mispronunciation. Shinkantaza really just means being still, being the observer, returning to the awareness of being. So let me not try and pronounce that Japanese word correctly because I'm going to fail miserably, even though I've spent a considerable time in Japan. Zen teachings, non-dual teachings, rest as awareness. What is it? It's not what we think, because first of all, we don't think. So thought is broadcast by our dreaming mind. And we are a projection of that thought. We are thought itself, and thought doesn't think. Thought just observes the contents of its surrounding thoughts appearing as form, and then makes claim to analyzing it or observing it or thinking about it or having done it. It doesn't. Thought can't claim anything. So we projections, physical body mind projections, can't actually claim anything, especially not that. Since that we are just characters in a screen that is in a movie that's over a long time ago. No character in the screen can change the script of the movie. The movies are over. And so if you find yourself as the character on the screen, sitting in the cinema, seeing yourself on the screen, you can't go, oh, I wish I didn't play that role. I wish I could change this, that, and the other. It's over. So don't try and improve the character, change the script, or try and figure out what's coming. Be here now. When you abide as awareness, when you rest as awareness, or Shinkantaza, for example, is the word. You're not trying to fix anything. You're not trying to improve yourself. You're not trying to change the world. It's really, don't try and change the world. Try and change your mind about the world. Can you change your mind? Do you even have a mind? The entire universe is mind. You appear as a character in the mind, but the reality of it, and that's what the Course in Miracles is doing, for example, is it's addressing the dreaming mind, the dreamer. Is the dreamer separated from right-mindedness, Christ mind? No. The dreaming mind and Christ mind are one indivisible mind. The dreaming mind is just a temporal glitch, a dream in a mind that is always awake. It's a thought, an erroneous thought in Christ mind. That's what the dreaming mind is. One erroneous thought that has then fractured itself into gazillions of thoughts, but they're all just variations of the same source error. sorcerers, little sorcerers running around trying to create chaos. Awareness or resting as awareness isn't the resting as awareness isn't an activity. Yes, at first you learn to meditate and you learn to still the mind, but that's just program, teaching yourself to observe without going down the rabbit hole every time a thought pops up. You're not meant to destroy the thought, get rid of the thought, improve the thought, fix the thought, color the thought, what it, be aware of it, allow it to rise into your awareness. If it disturbs you, if it tempts you, inquire, to whom does the thought appear? From where does the thought come? If I'm aware of the thought, can I be thinking it? So then what is I that is aware of the thought? Who's this I? What am I? Who am I? Go down that path. And you realize that the minute you ask the question, who am I? The mind turns inward. Because up until now, even as you watch me, your mind's turned outward, focusing on the outward activities of yourself. Because I'm just a projection of your same mind. Same mind. We're the same mind. Right now, the mind's talking to itself through the appearance of characters. So turn inward. It's like, what am I? Who am I? If I'm that which observes a thought, can I be the thinker of thoughts? There's no effort required in this. And so when uneasy feelings come to the surface, when past memories, 50-year-old memories of guilt rise into the surface, be present with it. Now, you're not going to feel comfortable at first with it. But who isn't comfortable with it? What is uncomfortable with it? Is any thought in the past going to kill you? Is it going to hurt you? Can it harm you? And so what if it did? What is it going to harm? The temporal body mind appearance? So allow it to be there. Try and be comfortable with it. And then forgive yourself for imagining it. You've dreamt it up. Whatever the thought's trying to represent, the story it's trying to tell you, remind yourself, I am spirit and I abide in God. God is spirit and abides in me. And this is just a mistaken memory that never really actually existed. It's a memory that's constantly trying to repeat itself in order to become real for me. And the only reason it does it is to divert my attention from awareness of being, resting as awareness. And you do that with anything that pops up, a question, something that needs to be answered. Who wants to know? And what's the benefit of knowing? I mean, you spent your entire life learning things. What benefit has it brought you? Has it brought you any closer to peace of mind? What is A Course in Miracles? Do you learn anything in A Course in Miracles? You unlearn everything in A Course in Miracles. You unlearn all your preconceived conditioning, all your preconceived ideas, beliefs, all of it. That's what it's doing. It's the end of the search because there's a recognition. There's no one searching and there's nothing to search for. You are that in which everything appears. And so, Shinkantaza, Zen, awareness of being, non-duality, resting in God, Course in Miracles, allude to the same thing. Like some say, well, Great Spirit, some will call it God, and some will call it awareness. It's alluding to the essence of being, pure holiness, wholeness, which is holiness. Wholeness is holiness. To be whole is to be beingness. There's no thinking. There's no thinker of thoughts. It's just an error on playback. Repeat, loop, loop, loop. You're not thinking. It's one thought that's echoing around your empty chambered mind, and you're paying attention to it. You're not meant to get rid of it. You're meant to not give it attention. But the mind doesn't want to ignore something. It's curious. So then do the self-inquiry. Do the self-inquiry. And once you recognize that it has no origin, it has no source, and if you are that which is the observer of thought, and you cannot be the thought, you no longer buy into the thought because you recognize it's just blah, blah, blah. If there's a jingle playing on the radio and you really don't like the song, you naturally start singing along, especially if you don't like the music. No, you switch off the radio. You walk away from it. You dial down the volume. Stop listening to that which doesn't serve you. What does serve you? What is it that you really want? Why does anyone do spirituality? because you want to be happy. It's not that you want to know God. That's just an idea. Someone recently said God is a construct. In this world, God is definitely a construct. True God is true. True God is all there is. God is all there is. But while we're in body, mind, form, God is a construct. And especially the God of religions is most definitely a thought construct, an idea. But real God, not God of the Bible. God of the Bible is a construct. It's a story. It's a story of the old Anunnaki gods. Watch the Fifth Kind channel. You'll get clarity there. But true God is your life force. It's pure awareness of being, not awareness of awareness or awareness of things. It's just being. No thought, no effort, no striving, no resisting, no denial, no confronting, no analyzing, definitely no judgment. So when you rest as awareness, you can still do the dishes, drive your car, go to work, but the awareness becomes all pervading. And the more you practice abiding in silent stillness, that's a practice, that's a doing, okay? The more natural the awareness of being becomes for you. And then you can be chopping wood, eating a chocolate bar, building a water dam, fetching water, feeding the kittens, singing along to the music on the radio, and talking to your friends. And the all pervading awareness of awareness is there. But there's no more analysis. What did she mean? And what did he say? And why is he doing this? And why did that happen? And why is it raining today? And you won't listening to the news and the politicians did this, and you'll do what's in front of you. And if you're meant to act, it'll be in front of you and you'll act. And it's not like you're being an ostrich burying his head in the sand. There's no ostrich, there's no sand. It's you'll realize that what everybody else is up to has got nothing to do with you. And if you are, yeah, but it's your country and it's your this and it's your, it's not, nothing is yours. The entire dream's yours. You're responsible for all of it. But therefore, you're also accountable if you really don't like it to end it. And the only way you end it is through true forgiveness, the recognition that what you see with your eyes, you don't see it all. It's just the illusion of seeing. Vision is another name, another word for knowing. Vision is knowing, and knowing doesn't see, it just is. Anyway, I hope that's brought you clarity. But yes, Tao Te Ching, Zen, all the non-dual paths point to the same thing. Awareness of being, rest is awareness. Observe without attachment, observe without resistance. Allow whatever's unhappy to come to the surface. Recognize you've done this to yourself. And then forgive yourself for dreaming. Okay, so I hope that brought you clarity. I hope that answers it. And the next question following the same sort of sequence, but this one's given me a 4-page fucking lecture. Okay. This is a Course in Miracles, blah, blah, blah. New Ken Wapnick. Woo! Who the fuck is Ken? And did he date Barbie? Do I give a shit? So you knew Ken. Who cares? Happy for you. You often mention the word Tao. It's never mentioned in A Course in Miracles. Why do you keep mentioning Tao? Shut the fuck up. Switch this channel off. Go somewhere else. I love it when old men try and lecture me. Really, do you think I should respect you because you're older? Did you learn that at school? I don't give a fuck. Are we clear on that? Put to the mouth. I hope you understand that. Okay. Can you explain what the Tao means and how it relates to A Course in Miracles? No, you twat. Do you know what a twat is? Truly without any thought. Be a twat. Okay. Not everything needs to relate to A Course in Miracles. What the fuck, dude? PG-33. Those that are offended, switch off now. It's going to get worse. Okay, I'm not a student of just A Course in Miracles. I'm a student of the nature of being. Course in Miracles has only been with me for the last, I don't know, since 2001 and then dived into 2010. You know, if it wasn't for the other teachings, A Course in Miracles would have just been a wonderful story. And so I've gone down so many different paths only to get to the same T junction. Be still and know I am. So the word Tao, does it bother you? The Tao Te Ching. Spelt with a T, by the way. You misspelt it. It's not with a D. D is for doers, okay? And you're being one. If you don't know what that is, in Afrikaans, it means a box, okay? So the Tao, the closest we get to in the language of the Course in Miracles is rest in God. In non-dual language, awareness of being, awareness. The Tao is pure awareness. Can I describe it? Ice cream in my mouth, full body orgasm. Well, it's bliss. Oh, fuck it. Are you happy now? Okay. It's just peaceful, joyous awareness of being. Nothing to do, nowhere to go, nothing to change, nothing to fix, nothing to judge, nobody to criticize, no one to lecture, no one to ask stupid questions. Why do you keep mentioning shit? What? Who's asking that question? What in you makes you believe you have the right to question me or anyone else? But if you want to, by all means, do. I ain't just going to facilitate your bullshit. Just give a fuck. I really don't. Don't owe you diddly squat. But I owe to ourselves to be here, show up, and share. If it offends you, write your complaint on a $200 note and send it to me. I'll send you my address. So Tao is pure awareness of being. It's before the appearance of the illusion called the universe. It's before the separation. Was there ever a separation? No. The idea that there was a separation. It's before there was a need to name things and explain things and tabulate things and write A Course in Miracles. It was before there was the need to have something called Christ mind, the naming of that which is the extension of all there is. It was before there was a need to have something called God, because God is all there is. And if God is all there is, there's no need for God to name God as God. It's just blah, 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 blah bullshit. You can't acquire it. You can't attain it. It is what you already are. Your fundamental, essential nature is the Tao. It's your life force. It's your joyous lightness of being. It's the part of you which you don't understand when you're asking questions. And there's nothing to stand under, so you'll never understand it. The Tao, awareness of being, doesn't belong to the realm of students and teachers and courses. It's not a series of ideas to be debated and discussed and mentally masturbated over. It's not a principle. It's not a philosophy. You can write a white paper about it, but it's still not that. It's not what you think because it's absent of thought. Yes, the Course says, but we're a thought in God's mind. It's only because we're a bunch of twat waffling fools and we need words for that. We're not a thought, and God doesn't have a mind. There's just energy. And of course, for our little need to understand things and dissect things and pretend to be so intellectually superior, we have little mind, content, dream, thought, and big M mind, awareness of being. Where is the awareness of being? In mind. It's not in mind. There's no mind in awareness of being. God is pure awareness. Pure awareness. What is awareness? Closest we'll get to, feeling wise, joyous peace. Thought wise, no fucking thought whatsoever. Wow. Wow. Just wow. And then yeah, and then you're listening to twat waffling fools asking stupid questions. Having fun with it. So is the Tao in the world? No, the world's in the Tao. Is the Tao in the mind? There's no mind. It's just the appearance of it. And it's already over, so there's no more mind. We're a recording seeming to be happening now. But what's happening is just pure awareness appearing to seemingly filtered through our obstacles to peace, our ideas of separation. And so there's the appearance of the planet, universe, people, space, time, matter, E equals mc squared, appearing. None of it's true. Stillness of being, lightness of being, infinite joyous lightness of being. That's it. Can I describe it? Again, let's go back to ice cream and orgasm. Right. Anything more I say is just blah, 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 twat waffling and feeding some sort of ego fantasy. Let me ask you a very serious fucking question right now. Who is it that wants to know if the Tao fits into A Course in Fucking Miracles? Who wants to know? Do you feel better now? Do you now feel vindicated? You've now convinced yourself that Lou is rude. I told you I was rude. But now you can go and ask someone else another question. Hope you're happy now. Maybe Rupert Spira will be more polite. Anyway, next question is phenomenal. It's a great question. I know lots of you ask this in some way or another. Dear Lou, it's a simple one. No story, just a simple question. Thank you for this. How do I collapse the subject-object distinction? That's a very important, that's in its own as a whole talk. Okay. And how do I become aware of my soul? And when does my soul stop incarnating? So you've asked me three questions. Same question. Same question. The question itself, the questions themselves, how do I collapse the subject-object distinction? Or the question, how do I become aware of my soul? And when does my soul stop incarnating? Carries within, it's loaded, it's preloaded with a belief already. Because you believe that you, a soul, which is now here in a body, the whole thing is misunderstood. It's misperceived. So the error is in the understanding, and it's the erroneous understanding that's asked the question. But hey, stay with me. Don't get upset yet. Not yet. Get upset towards the end. So it's really the question is like you're the wave in the ocean, tumbling, crashing against the rocks, asking, what's my purpose? What's the meaning of being a wave? And I really just want to understand the nature of water, and so that I can understand the nature of the ocean. So where am I going to find it? Maybe I'm going to find it on the beach or against the cliffs. So let me go bash my head a few times. You are the water. Your very core essence energy is water. You're made from water, and water is the ocean. That's what that question's like. And now you're asking, when do I stop being a wave and return to the ocean? You're the movement of the ocean. You're the ebb and the tide. You're the pulsating of the ocean, which appears as waves. The essence energy of any wave is water. The whole ocean's water. You that. You're a fish in the ocean looking for water. The question's preloaded with an idea that you are a soul or that you have a soul. No, you don't. You have to look at this question directly and realize that embedded in the question is the illusion of a separate you that's going to stop incarnating. I have bad news for all of you. Now, of course, you're not going to like this because the channelers and the psychics and those that have had near-death experiences and those that have done past life regressions and go, but yeah, this one became enlightened. No, the dreaming mind lights up until there's no more dreaming mind. Just like when you wake up in the morning, where's the mind that dreamt the dream? There's no more mind that dreamt the dream. There's now the mind that operates in its awake state. What happened to the mind that dreamt the dream? Has it now died? No, it just doesn't exist in awake state. Awareness of being, Christ mind, God's mind, awareness, is always awake. So what dreams? The illusionary part of the mind that took a break from resting as awareness, took a break from laughing. So if you look at the question directly, there's no you individual soul. Incarnations, the appearance of incarnation stops when the dreaming mind fully awakens unto itself, Christ self. So what happens to the character you when the body dies? Well, the appearance, the projection of space-time matter, which isn't real, when it's given no more attention after a certain amount of time span, space-time, the essence of it returns to the mind that dreamt it up. So what incarnates? That within you, which is unforgiven. Because you're a thought that's bought into the broadcasts of the dreaming mind's thoughts. And it's thoughts of pure vengeance split into 8 billion different ways. 8 billion vengeful thought stories. Not a single one the same, because they're variations of the same thing. How many variations of one thought can you have? Well, on this planet alone, there's 8 billion. Throughout the universe, 9 septillion, according to my regression work. Is that true? It's an illusion. It's a story. The idea that you stop recycling as an individual is the problem. You'll keep recycling thoughts appearing as form in a variety of ways until you fully awaken to yourself, Holy Son of God, you the dreamer. So does the you character come back? No. So how come during regression work, people have past life memory? Well, a thought is a cluster, and part of a cluster of thoughts. And so when that thought stops appearing as form, that thought returns to the collective dreaming mind. And because the thoughts of vengeance aren't over, the part of it which is forgiven itself as a temporal appearance, that gone. And so the same vengeful thought is then projected back into the appearance of a planet. Why can't you remember? Well, under regression, you tap into what seems to be your past lives, but they're not. They're just lives of other fractures of your own dreaming mind with which you in vibrational alliance. And then you think you were that character, which is why there's so many Cleo fucking Patras on this planet under regression. Everybody was Cleopatra. Everybody was King whatever, Henry. I don't know, sound like a twat. But you're all of it. And so since you're dreaming all of it, if you go into regression, whatever vibrational frequency you're aligned to right now or misaligned to right now will have the appearance of other characters in space-time past. But there's no you character soul incarnating. Get this in your kop, in your brain. You are that which dreams all of it. And so there's no you soul to have a memory of you being an arsehole. Just you become aware you're the dreamer. You take full responsibility for dreaming, awareness of dreaming, the first step to awakening. And from the awareness of dreaming, as you continue the forgiveness work, forgiving yourself for dreaming up this delusion of biblical distortions called universe, as you forgive yourself, therefore you recognize it never happened but in your dream. So, as awake beingness, extension of God, there's no more thought about it because it was never true. There's another way to ask this because your mind isn't going to be satisfied. But here's a Nisargadatta way of answering it, or Ramana Maharishi way of answering, or Papaji, my favorite one. I have a favorite, Papaji. You know, who is it that wants to collapse the subject-object identification? It's really, this is the analogy of the thief dressed as a policeman looking for the thief. All these questions do is keep you preoccupied so that you don't rest as awareness. Next time you have any question whatsoever, rest as awareness. Just rest. Who wants to know? Who wants to understand? Who wants to stand under story? Who wants to propagate storytelling? And if you say, I, me, who is this? Inquire to who is this I that wants to know. The collective knowledge of every fractured body mind appearance, every little fractured mind, collective knowledge throughout the universe still amounts to absolutely diddly squat shit. Nothing. The greatest teachings, Upanishads, Advaita Gita, Course in Miracles, Tao Te Ching, Egyptian Book of the Dead, teachings of Meister Eckhart, all of it. It's just a road sign, just a sign. The teachings in and of themselves point towards the truth, but they're not the truth. The truth cannot be explained in words, sounds, and symbols. Forget it. It just points you to get to that point where you're willing to accept you know nothing. You're willing to not know anything. Admit to yourself you know nothing, absolute shit. Don't try and look forward, fix, change, improve. No longer judge, criticize yourself or any thought. No thanks. Get behind me, thought. As our brother 2,000 years ago, get behind me, Satan, thought. No thanks. I've heard it. I mean, at first you bring it into the awareness. Bring it into your awareness. Be comfortable with it, no matter how uncomfortable it is. And then forgive yourself for imagining it. Forgive yourself for imagining you're uncomfortable with whatever thought seems to be attacking you. Because is there a thought actually attacking you? It's a good story. Attack thoughts. It's a nonsense. It's absolute total fucking bullshit. There's no such thing as an attack thought because there's no such thing as a thought. And there's no such thing as a you to which those attack thoughts appear. When are you going to get this, Holy Son of God? How many times do you need to read the blue book? How many times? You see, you just like feeding your energy, giving your attention, more tension to thought, to stories, to ideas, to attack thought. What are you going to fix? What are you going to heal? Time doesn't heal anything. Time's an illusion. So how can time heal? Forgiveness heals. And what is true forgiveness? Not I forgive the thought or what happened to me or that person or what I did because I feel guilty over what. No, there's no you to feel nothing and you didn't do anything. It's just a story you've been telling yourself for what appears to be space-time millennia. It never happened. But as long as it triggers that resistance and anger and or boo-hoo, you give it attention. What if you didn't give it attention? What if you didn't give it any thought whatsoever? What if you didn't tell anyone? Let me ask you a question. Take your favoritist person in the world. Your favoritist. New English word. Favoritist. Love this person with everything in your heart. You love that person. but you have a story. But that story is pure poison. And if you tell that story, whoever you tell that story to, you poison them. You're going to make them sick and they're going to die. Would you tell your favoritist person that story? No. Because if you do tell that story to your favoritist person, that person dies. And what you don't realize is that person's you. Your favoritist person, because you've made manifest your favoritist person. The physical body you appear to be is your favorite idea of yourself. That's why you've projected it, a variation of it. You've got 8 billion favoritist ideas about yourself. Stop telling stories. Stop asking questions. Be here now. Who wants to know? Who wants to tell the story? Who wants to go, oh, wow, I've just loved what Luigi Poo, Guru Shwama dude has just said. And so let me repeat it. Please don't tell anyone about me. Please don't. First of all, if they haven't followed me for a while, they're going to think I'm meat completely fucking cooked. And if mainstream media get all of this, is like, oh, you said God is a construct. Well, God is a construct. Man-made God is a construct. The God of the Bible, the God of the teachings of the religion is a construct. Even if it appeared as spirit or appeared as form, Anunnaki, Enki, Enlil, it's still a construct of our dreaming mind. And then it's a construct of the characters that have now taken the dreaming mind construct and made it into a fucking story. True God. That can't be explained. That's not a construct. Construct requires a mind to construct it. God isn't a construct. True God. God is everything, the awareness of being. But really, who wants to distinguish between or get rid of and collapse the idea of subject object? There's no one, there's no subject, there's no object. There's nothing to do. There's no me. Realize that at a certain stage you become the observer of the contents of your own dream. So you're moving closer to that which dreams, closer to the part of you which dreams, the part of you which isn't real and therefore dreams unreal, imagines unreality. But when the recognition of the I amness, the awareness of being the decision maker, that can choose to be aware of being aware, to return to the awareness of being, you don't just spontaneously die and it's over, poof, feather, silence. The script's playing. You're just no longer invested in the script. Just imagine that nothing in this world triggers you anymore. Nothing. And yes, there's a price to pay for your little ego, since you now no longer desire anything or worry about anything. You want nothing. You're not going to get excited about anything. But you won't be depressed or hurt by it either. You see, and so straight line. Not, it's just beep, just to let you know you're alive. Beep. And things will come and go, and you'll show up, and no matter what it is, you'll do what's in front of you. And you'll do it passionately, with compassion. Compassion, true empathy, not false empathy. I hope this brings you closer to the question, to the reality of being. But really, who wants to know? Get that one out of the way and be here now. And then the next question, which really just follows beautifully from there, is please, Lou, can you explain the awareness of being? All I can say is awareness of being is the end of the search. Awareness of being is true vision. It's what the Course in Miracles alludes to as to vision. Awareness of being, there's an intimacy into me I see about it. It's not personal. Emphasis on the null. Person, null. There's no person. It's all encompassing. It's indivisible. Everything appears in the universe is contained within it. Everything that appears in the universe is construct of a dreaming mind, consciousness. But consciousness is temporary and unreal because it appears and disappears. There's a pulsation to it, pulsating to it. Awareness is pure effervescence. The light of the sun pales in comparison. It just everywhere, ever present. It's light. There's no thought. It's beyond sensation. It's beyond, but it's every breath you take. It's the stillness. It's the movement. It's all of it. It's not something you attain. It's something you are at the very core, fundamental essence energy of being. You can never be apart from it. You can't try to understand it philosophically or scientifically, as in previous question. You can debate it, but the minute you open your mouth, it's gone. It's all pervading. The minute I point to this, it's not this. When you rest as awareness, and the awareness of being is returns to that which is resting. The moment you become aware of it, you're out. Because you are the awareness. You cannot be aware of being. Because there's no you to be aware of the awareness of being. You are the awareness of being. There's no you to be aware of awareness of being. There's just awareness. You see, words will fail you here. My direct experience, it just wants to go quiet. And those of you who know me, I'll go through periods where I don't want to talk anymore. It's because in that present moment experience, the awareness becomes so all-encompassing, there's just nothing to say. But the reason I do this is my practice of vigilance. So through doing this, I don't want to say it forces me because I'm doing it to myself, but it reinforces me, reinforces the lightness of being in me with the temporal construct. Blah, 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 blah. That's it. It's just there. You know, there's no one is aware of being. There's just the awareness of being in which someone appears in, but there's no one. It's not a state. All states appear within it, but appear within the consciousness of it, which is no longer it's in its fullness. Consciousness is dream state. But remember, your dreaming mind is within the same essence of that which is awake. It can't be separated. One is real and one isn't. And when the recognition of what is real comes into itself, the awareness of self, what was once its dream reality is gone. There's no knower apart from it. There's just the knowing. There's no knowledge apart from it. It is knowledge itself, but it's not knowledge of things and people and places and events and activities and breaking it down and naming. It's without any focus of attention. It's the softening up. It cannot. You can try and get metaphysical or philosophical or whatever. Blah, blah. You're just down a rabbit hole trying to explain being. Can't. Like I said, it's trying to explain ice cream to someone who's never seen it. but they see the smile on your face and they want you to explain how the ice cream makes you smile. When you taste the ice cream, you become the ice cream. How can you explain it? It's not something to believe. It's not something to understand. It is what you are. And all you're doing is you're forgiving your delusional obstacles to peace, your construct, your memories, which is just illusion on a loop, trying to peg itself in space time in order for you to buy the story and make it real. There's no belief in it. There's no B, lie, F in it. It's the truth in which the appearance of you as a believer dissolve. And they're leaving no one to figure out anything. It's just consciousness is the construct in which belief appears and disappears. Awareness is what you already are and always have been and always will be. And you're just in movie rolled space-time sequence seeming to be returning to it. You're already there. It's like watching the movie, as I've said, and you notice the actor and you're getting really pissed off on the actor, and then there's a break, and then you go to the bathroom and you look in the mirror and you realize, holy fuck, I am that actor. How come I forgot who I was? How come I forgot acting the movie? Well, because you needed a mirror or 8 billion of them to reflect back at you what you look upon. And you've only but judged yourself, and you've only been trying to understand your essential nature, but you can't understand your essential nature by studying the contents of the screen. And Ramana Maharishi said it's not something that you can memorize, understand, explain. He said it. I'm just repeating what he said. And of course, when I first read that book of his, wanted to, I mean, come on, that's not good enough. Now I realize, well, he didn't write the book. God would, he wrote it anyway. It, shut up. That's it. There's nothing more I can say. Next question. If everything is spirit, what then is mind? It's a construct by the projections, the character projections, in order to try and understand the nature of what's projecting. So what's projecting is thought, and thought clustered, erroneous thought clustered, is what we call mind. Course calls it the activating agent of spirit, but that's all blah, 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 academic, sound romantic. Mind is nonsense. Capital M mind is awareness of being, is God. So spirit, capital S spirit, and capital M mind's one and the same thing. Little m mind and soul, specifically arse soul, is the same thing. It's an illusory construct. Who wants to know? If you were spirit and fully knew self as spirit, would you be searching for your mind? Or would you lose your mind very, very quickly? In mind, there's concepts, karma, memory, history, story, blah, 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 pain bodies, cellular memory, what else? Quantum science, quantum physics, mystic teachings of blah, 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 fish-based. Stories, which no matter what path you're on, if you're really willing to remember and you ask with total sincerity, show me. Show me what I am. Where would you have me be? What would you have me say? To whom would you? Your story, what appears to be your human, natural, talented nature path. That's why I don't deny it. If you want to go pursue it, because that story will bring you to the awareness of being. And then at some stage, you'll go quiet. And then some stage, you'll go depressed. Your projection will be pressed upon. because it'll seem to be breaking. It's not breaking. It was never whole anyway. It was already broken from the moment it was conceived in illusion and projected into form. The essence of you cannot, never will be broken because the essence of you is whole, is spirit, is Holy Spirit, and therefore the pure extension, we use the word extension of God, forever extending into eternity and beyond, the infinite lightness of being. Yeah. Anything else is blah, 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 fish paste. Yeah. Awareness of being, holy instant, total clarity. And in that total clarity, there's no question. There's no YouTube question. There's no you separated from it. It's just all of it's you. And you're not going to be trying to then hold on to it because you realize even though a part of you will seem to be out of it, it's always there. It's always been there, always will be, and you are it. But you're no longer mistaking yourself for this apparition or that which thinks it thinks. And no thought will ever grip you, grab you, upset you, blah, 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 fish. It won't. It just, you laugh at it. All of it. You laugh at everything. Okay. Then this question. And the next question is several people have written to me about the same thing, and it's the fall from grace story. That's just hit our media a couple of weeks ago. And they all asked lots of questions, but this one person from Pretoria, just down the road from me. Dear Lou, a few days ago, so I'll use those of you that sent me this question, they're all the same. Dear Lou, a few days ago, a guru I respected fell from grace. Great word, that great sentence, fell from grace. Why has this saddened me so deeply? Why do I feel so betrayed? I feel as if the rug has been pulled from underneath me. Can you shed some light on the subject and perhaps guide me as to what I can do about this? So we all know who we're talking about. We don't need to mention names because then we name and form label and we straight back into this bullshit of separation, me and them. Okay. The reality is, beloved, I can only answer this question in three different ways. I have to give you all three variations of the same nonsense. Okay. But it's going to bring you to a simple conclusion and then the doing of nothing. But here we go. So grace is never ending because grace is awareness of being. Grace is God's essence energy. And nothing and no one ever falls out of it. No one can ever fall from grace. Please get rid of that sentence in your vocabulary. It's like saying you can be outside God. God is spirit and moves and moves through you. You are spirit, you move and flow through God. You're never separated from grace. Because grace is God. It's God's essence energy. It's the flow of, it's the life force. No one ever is without grace. Not a single one. Not the worst criminal on the planet. God's grace still flows through them. Never ending. So no matter what you appear to do, grace is your life force. So let me start. There's several ways to answer this. Now you've heard in the media, and there's even spiritual bunnies onto the bandwagon now, blah, 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 and now trying to distance themselves from guru, said guru, okay? So let me ask you something. Do you have the facts? Or are you just repeating what you've read in the news? Because we all know the news is always 100% accurate. Always tell the truth. Every single news station always tells the truth, don't they? So much so that there's now thousands of YouTube channels and whatever channels, because now news people have decided to start their own channels because they want to tell the truth better. So are you reacting to the stories that they've made up about the guru, have said about the guru, and the emails read and this happened and that? Have you read the email? Did you see the email? Or do you just see a picture of an email on a screen? Do you know for a fact that that's true? Now, in this world of CI, AI, whatever, you can make people, I mean, you watch a movie and it looks like there's Armageddon. It looks like the whole world's coming in. The screens are fire. The whole thing's being destroyed. It looks real. Blood and guts, gore. It looks real. So you have to look away sometimes. So horrible. So do you know for a fact it's a fact? Or are you reacting to what others say about said guru? Do they have the facts, or are they repeating a story repeated by a story? Broken telephone. Let me ask you this question. Salem. Let's go back to Salem, 200 years ago. Not too long ago, 200 years ago. Someone accused you of being a witch. Does it make you a witch? If someone saw you talking to a witch, does it make you a witch? If someone saw you hanging out with a witch, does it make you a witch? If one day you're in the market, a person, and you hear this person talk about that person, and that person talking is a witch, because the witch spoke of someone, or read someone's book, or attended someone's seminar, does that make the person who gave the seminar and wrote the book a witch too? Does talking to a criminal make you a criminal? But what if a criminal mentions you? I know my book, A School Called Earth, the first one's gone around US prisons back in the 2000s. Michael Tellinger, my publisher, also the author of Slave Species of God, he took the book across to the USA, and people from prisons were contacting me and reading my book, and it was helping them forgive themselves and heal and forgive others and really, you know, make amends. So now if an ex-convict mentions my book, does that make me a criminal too? Never forget this gross injustice. Salem. How many people were burnt at the stake? Mostly women, of course. Easier because they can't fight back. Well, they couldn't then. Today I wouldn't dare, you know. Thousands of women were burnt at the stake just because people accused them. Let's go one further, closer to A Course in Miracles. Jesus, his best friend. Maybe she was his lover. We don't know. Speculate. But she was accused of being a prostitute, Mary Magdalene. And for 2,000 years, the church kept quiet, even though I had the facts. And maybe 10, 15, 20 years ago, it came out that she wasn't. How many people think Mary Magdalene and still think prostitute? How long is it going to take for that bullshit story to be eradicated from the collective human psyche? And staying with Jesus, our brother 2,000 years ago, if he lived today, he'd be headline news daily because they'd find Jesus at the local brothel, inside, holding hands with the dancers and the prostitutes and the tax collectors and the thieves and the because politicians, tax collectors and politicians today, same shit. He'd be headline news. Do you have the facts? Let the one without sin throw the first stone. And people in glass houses shouldn't throw stones, especially in modern glass houses, because all glass houses today are made of bulletproof glass, and you're going to throw a stone, it's going to hit you straight back in the face where it deserves to land. What are you pointing at? If you really understood non-duality, what are you pointing at? But fractured parts of your unforgiven self, parts of you that are unforgiven, show up in the world so that you can learn to forgive, true forgiveness. It never really happened. Now, yes, of course, in the world of dreams, this planet, there are criminals. There is right and wrong. There is good and bad. And there's definitely things we shouldn't do if we really were resonating love. And the ugliness and what's called evil in this world is just the absence of the recognition of love is all there is. But when you start throwing stones and spreading the rumor mill without the facts, and then you get so upset. So there's the email going around where he says God is a construct. From a non-dual point of view, God is most definitely a construct, explained from the world's separate point of view. In the absolute, God is not and cannot be a construct because God is all there is. But if you talk biblically, religious-wise, dogmatic-wise, it's a construct. It's an idea of God the Father. Is God a father, a man, a masculine? Constructs. And then he said something silly, stupid, but pretty girls are real. They appear real in the dream. The core essence of everyone is real because that's the God seed. God is in all of us and everybody's in God. So he made a stupid sentence. Take it out of, we don't know. And now we want to go down that rabbit hole and you want to point fingers and you want to be all broken. Why? Let's go why. No matter what sin anyone commits on this planet, there's only one Son of God dreaming. One Son of God. God only has one Son, pure extension, Christ mind. Part of that mind dreams. No matter what sin anyone commits in this planet, it's in your dreaming mind, you're doing it. You're doing it. And the reason it's upset you is because it's reminding you of unforgiven guilt within our collective dreaming mind, which appears as you and me in this planet. Forgiveness sets us free. What did Jesus teach us? I seek mercy, not sacrifice. What you're sacrificing? Yourself instead of forgiveness. Sacrificing your peace of mind because you're going down a rabbit hole because you're listening to bullshit on YouTube and on the news and the blah, blah, blah. And this one said and that one said, and you've got a collection of his books. I read many of his books. Many, 3 or 4. I loved his storybook about Jesus, the one about Buddha stories. I loved it. He influenced my life. I'm grateful. Can you be grateful? Can you stay with that? Or do you just love the bullshit? Let me ask you another question, and this is vital that you get this. What's the fuck's it got to do with you? What he did? What does it matter what he did? Have you never sinned? Have you never made a mistake? Have you not looked back on your life? Was it all perfect? Do you nothing that you not feel guilty for in this life of yours? Is he in front of you? Do you interact with him daily, physically? Or do you follow him on YouTube and then you're upset because he doesn't like ice cream? Live your life and let others live theirs. Or is your life so empty and so utterly devoid of any meaning and any purpose of sharing your infinite light disappearing that you live vicariously through your gurus? In which case you deserve the good, fucking serious Jesus double-handed backslap across the head. Then you need to suffer a little longer because you've misidentified and that's why you suffer. The broadcast dreaming mind loves to broadcast through the news and news channels. A whole lot of bullshit to divert your attention from awareness of being. If you were to take this guru's teachings and the beautiful stuff that's brought you into where you are now, the awareness of being, why would you focus on anything else? Unless you still love the fucking drama, because you're not nearly as awake or spiritual as you think you are. That's the reality. Does that upset you? Good. Good. Maybe you'll practice forgiveness on this one too. But let's ask another question. How did the story help you? Why are you paying attention to anything that doesn't lift you or bring you into present moment awareness? And sometimes these stories are supposed to upset you so that you can recognize you've got unforgiven guilt within yourself. And you go, but I've done nothing wrong. You've dreamt this whole fucking thing up. That's what you've done wrong. Now, can you forgive yourself for dreaming and end the dream of separation for all your fractured selves? Or do you want to keep telling your story? Is it lekker? Kry jy lekker om kak te praat? You like the blah, blah, blah bullshit. You like it. Ooh, it makes you feel excited. You like feeling upset and hurt. Boo, you love it. Because that's how your ego feels alive. It's energy when you're upset. You feed your ego constantly. Feed me, see more, feed me, and see some more, and then feed me, and then see some more, and then feed me, and then relay back to me all the bullshit in the world, and then feed me with your bullshit, egotistical emotions of sadness and grief, and oh, I can't believe this is happening to me. There's no me to whom this is happening. Holy Son, awaken to self. Stop telling stories. Stop spreading the poison. Stop feeding the poison to others and yourself. And then fourthly, and this is the important one. When did you put that motherfucker on a pedestal? When did you put that Guruji on a pedestal? And that's why you're falling. And you're falling out of the awareness of being nothing falls out of grace. All idols shall fall, every single one of them. But you've done this to yourself, Holy Son of God. You get what you believe. You experience what you believe, whether what you believe is true or not, because your belief, your lie, your be-life becomes true for you. Your Guruji and you are one indivisible self. And so if you're attracted to what seemed to happen, it's because that part of you is still within you. There's still a guilt within you. There's still a sin within you, an idea of sin within you that you believe is unforgivable. And still the fear of death in you. And more importantly, the fear of never having existed as a separate individual soul, our soul, ever. Because there is no you, separate body, mind, entity. Course in Miracles talks to our dreaming mind. You know, the rug has been pulled. What fucking rug? There is no you, there is no rug. Your heart's broken. Your heart can't break. Your conceptual heart, which is an attachment to people, places, things, and ideas, the worship of ideas, of subject object, that's what's broken because it was never whole to begin with, and it'll never stay solid because it was never real. It's never whole. It's never holy. Never make me a guru, ever, ever. I'm nothing like any guru, not a holy man in the slightest bit. Just a student of life, trying to remember my essential nature. Why? Because it feels amazing when I return to the awareness of being. And I don't need to try and share it with anyone because just by being it, I'm sharing it. Remember this and never forget this. What appears as gurus in this world are still projections, thoughts and form, projections of vengeance. Through the appearance of their own individual clearing process, they clear their obstacles to peace. Does it mean they'll be perfect? If they were perfect as characters, they wouldn't exist in the dream. The core essence of all of them is still defenselessly innocent, forever pure and perfect as the holy instant when God extended himself and created the sonship. Focus on that. These bullshit stories and blah, 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 blah. And then that guru did this, and that one slept with his students, and that one stole money from this, and that one illegally took money from this country to that country, and that one, ach, my lieve volk, Marlies. If you really understood the core essence of the non-dual teachings, you've just become like the previous religiosios who just love to throw stones and blame every other religion, and everybody's attacking them, and everybody's the devil, and everybody's going to hell. And now as you got that first holy instant, your ego spiritualized, put on a fancy costume, spoke in softer tones, clasped hands together, put a permanent fucking smile on their face, became a wussy, soft, palatable, pleasing. But the Jesus backhand's going to smack you on the back of the head anyway until you recognize I but dream a dream and I'm not spiritual and I'm not special and I don't know anymore and I'm not part of the chosen because there's no one chosen. Not a single one is chosen. Everyone is called. It's up to you to choose to answer or not. All a guru can do is point, and not at the moon. You're not pointing at the fucking moon. You're pointing within. Go within. Go be still. Return to awareness of being. Rest as awareness. Rest in God. The minute you've mistaken the guru for a representation of God, no matter how holy a man that person was, 2,000 years ago, 100 years ago, 50 years ago, now, no matter how holy they appear, if you've mistaken the guru for God, you're an idiot. If you believe the guru is God and you believe everyone is God, in the sense of the core essence energy of everyone is God, not the character, not the body, mind, appearance. But when you recognize the core essence energy of all of it is God's energy, you get it. But the minute you make a character into God, down the fucking rabbit hole. Now, sometimes that character may be beautiful and leading you to closer and closer and closer to your capital S self. Wonderful. Like Jesus did, like Ramana Maharishi did, like Papaji did. But if you put that guru on a pedestal and they pull out their happy penis at the most inappropriate time, and newsflash gets taken and made a YouTube channel of, you are going to fall because you've put your love of God, the love of God you are, and projected into an object, a happy penis. And now you're upset. Don't do that to selves. All a guru can do is point within. Like I said, they can try and describe ice cream, but you're not going to get it. The best they can do for you is tell you how to get to the ice cream store. So you ask the question, what should you do? Well, A Course in Miracles is very, 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 very specific on terms of what you should do, especially in the case of a fallen from grace guru. It's in chapter 36, section 19, line 12. What should you do about fallen gurus? You should do, it says so, it actually underlines the next word, absolutely fuck all. Nothing, nada. Hou jou fucking back. Bly still. Translated English, shut the fuck up. Recognize you but dream all of it, including the stories of characters, gurus, and so falling from grace, which is impossible because grace is God and grace is all there is, since God is all there is. You've only failed yourself. You've only fallen from your own graceful awareness of being because you bought into beliefs, beliefs, and you believed that some had the answers and some was special. Be aware of being. Return to awareness of being. Allow whatever to come. Forgive yourself for imagining it. Forgive yourself for dreaming. And as you return to awareness of dreaming, the awareness of awareness returns because it's always been there. And returns only because you've gotten rid of your unforgiven obstacles to peace, your unforgiven thoughts about yourself, constructs about yourself. And as you let go of those constructs, the light of awareness returns to being the light of awareness it always is, as you and I, 8 billion of us, and our source energy, God, as one indivisible, joyous lightness of being. And now we don't talk about it anymore. It is done. And even in the worldly terms of this world, everybody should have a second chance, or third, or fourth, or seventh. Cats get 7 or 9. So at the first one, the one that has never sinned, throw the first stone. And if you can't, be quiet. Return to being. Return to gratitude. Awareness of being. I hope it's given you clarity. And if it's shook you to your core because I've given you a few of these tonight, well, It is, after all, called the Rude Awakening. Be blessed. Have a great week. Next week, we continue with revision 50 to 60. Have a blessed week. No more stay. No more stay.